Hello and welcome to Talent TV. My name is Amir and I'll be your host today. So, on Talent TV, every episode we bring on a new guest with a new talent and we interview them, we have them perform their talent, and then we ask them some questions. And then you could also ask questions yourself. You can call in if you have a comment or if you have a question. You're welcome to ask. We'll put the numbers up later on. So if you missed any of our previous shows, you can check them out at youtube.com/Tucson Talent. You can also follow us on facebook.com slash TalentV, myspace.com/TalentV, twitter.com/TalentV, and you can also check out our website at talentv.co.cc. So, today on our show, we have Johnny. Johnny, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Johnny Faber. I'm a guitar player, songwriter, and that's what I do.
Yep. All right. So, as you can see, he brought his guitar. He's going to play for us. So, let's get started with the interview. So, Johnny, we know you sing and we know you play the guitar. Which one did you start doing first?
I started singing first. When I was a little kid, I used to just, sing everything that, came to my mind.
So everything on the radio?
Everything, yeah. So that's what I started doing first, and then the guitar came after.
Cool. Any other instruments you play?
I play the banjo, the mandolin, the fiddle, the saxophone, the piano.
Wow.
Anything
Cool.
I put my hands on.
But
I like everything.
Your specialty is the guitar?
I definitely like the guitar.
Cool. So how long have you been playing the guitar for?
I've been playing since I was 13 years old. The movie La Bamba came out, and I saw it, and that's what I wanted to do. So,
cool. So you just started playing and singing?
Yeah, started playing and bugging my parents and siblings and everybody else in the house.
Yeah, I know what that's like. Did you learn by yourself, or did somebody teach you?
I played by ear. I just sat there in front of the radio and tried to squeak out something that sounded, like what was coming out of the radio, and then, just learned from there. And then, over the course of time, of course, I pick things up from everybody. So
cool. And that worked? You just listen to stuff and you can play it?
Yeah, that's how I learn. It's just by ear.
That's cool. Do you remember the first song you learned?
The first song that I learned on the guitar was a song called Framed, off that La Bamba soundtrack. It was a blues tune. So, yeah, that was the first one.
That's cool. What's your favorite kind of music?
Good music. I just like the good stuff. There's good and there's bad. I like the good stuff.
That's good. I like the good stuff too. But what's your favorite kind to play?
I guess, that just depends on my mood. I have a really diverse musical palette that, sometimes I want to play blues, sometimes I want to play rock and roll, sometimes I want to play some country or bluegrass. It depends on my mood. I have a lot of fun, with a band playing blues. That's predominantly the stuff that I have that I've played in my professional music career.
So you're in a band?
Yeah, I have a band called the Road Kings.
The Road Kings?
A little 3-piece band.
How long have you guys been together?
We've been together about 15 years now.
Cool. It's a long time.
It is a long time.
Who was your biggest inspiration to start singing and playing?
To start, Elvis would have been what made me really want to sing and play. We got home videos of me when I was just 2-3 years old with a guitar in my hand, rocking out to Elvis. And then, my biggest influence musically, I would have to say, was Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Cool. So you write your own songs, right?
Yep.
And how do you come up with the name, or how do you come up with the lyrics? How does it work?
I wish I knew that, because if I did, it would be great. But it just really depends. I mean, sometimes I'll start playing something and I'll start humming along to what I'm playing, and then just a story will pop into my head, or an image, and I'll write that song about that image or that situation or whatever that I feel is, it comes to me.
So you can actually sit down and force yourself to write a song. It doesn't just like come to you sometimes. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. There's definitely times. Most of the songs that I've written are songs that just came,
Right.
you know, and all at once, and you write it down and hope you can get everything down on paper before it leaves your mind,
Right.
and then I think that, you know, other than that, you know, if you're going to sit down and try and manufacture a tune, I mean, I have a great deal of respect for anybody who can sit down and manufacture a tune,
Right.
because that's not something that I have been able to really sit down and do. Say, I'm going to write a song about this thing right now.
Right. Yeah, that's what
You know,
you can't do
it's,
that. Not necessarily.
well, I can, but it usually comes to me when I'm playing around, you know,
Right,
making
yeah.
fun of something. You know, it works well then,
Right.
but you know, I don't know. It's a different thing, songwriting. You know, there's a lot of people that believe you have a muse, and she comes to you once in a blue moon, and you get something out of it, and you got to take advantage of that time when you have it. You know, because sometimes you'll sit down and it's just not right. You just don't feel right about it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and then sometimes you got a hit song.
Yeah, and then sometimes you sit down and you're like, you know, finish it off, and you're like, wow. So, yeah.
So, are you planning on pursuing music as a career?
You know, I would love to. I would love to make, you know, a career out of music. It's just that I think that right now in my life, you know, the way things are, I just don't have enough time to dedicate to going out there and pursuing that. You know, I have responsibilities that require me to bring home the bacon, and sometimes there's just not a whole lot of bacon to be had in music. That's changing, though. I mean, the music industry has been really turned on its ear by the internet, the technology
Yes,
that has
yeah.
come about in the last,
Right.
with the advent of the internet, and, you know, MP3 really have turned the entire industry on its ear.
Right.
That medium, that way to distribute music has never been there in the past.
Right.
It's always been, you know, hey, I got this tape
Yeah.
or whatever, and you know, so that is really, that access, immediate, instant access to music has really changed the industry. And then this social networking that has really taken off in the last couple of years has been a springboard for the independent musician and independent performer.
Right.
You know, things like YouTube and Facebook
Yeah, a lot of
and
people
MySpace.
get discovered.
And yeah, then that's really, you know, it's unprecedented, the access that we have to, you know, to each other these days, you know, as compared to how it was in the 50s, where, you know,
Right.
it was just luck of the draw. You had to have a guy come in the club when you were playing and be like, hey, you know.
Right.
So I think that, you know, with the songs that I think that lately, you know, as a songwriter, I've gotten to the point where I've got a repertoire of tunes that I'm comfortable with, that I
Right.
really, that I like, that I want to put out there, and I'll do it and see where it goes. But it's kind of hard to pursue music as a career when you have a bunch of other responsibilities, and you got to make sure that.
But
you're
let's
there
say
for that.
like the opportunity comes, would you take it?
Oh, absolutely. You're kidding me?
Yep.
Yeah. In a heartbeat.
So you've been playing music for over 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So do you have any advice for young musicians?
You know, I guess the advice that I would have is, and I'm not sure if it was Miles Davis that said it. I think it was, but he said, you know, learn your chords, learn your scales, learn the technical side of music, and then forget all that stuff and wail. And what he meant by that was, you know, you can be technical, and you can learn
Right.
all this theory, and you can learn all these chords, and that's great, because that's what you need. Those are the ingredients. But you got to play from the heart.
Right.
You know, you can't
Yes.
just be a robot, because that's not what it's all about.
That's what makes a good performer, you know? Like when you see all these musicians and all these artists, you can tell that they're putting their heart into it. You
Yeah.
can see.
Yeah. That, I mean, that and the other thing that